After login, you'll see this as-lingo welcome panel, and I want to show you how to navigate through the many functions available in as-lingo. Let's start at the very top. This is your user ID that you logged into this server with, to this database, client and division. This main area will host the panels which you will want to use to operate as-lingo. To the left of this is a vertical bar which holds numerous icons, and these icons will help you take action on the various panels that you've chosen to work with, whereas the top 5 icons stay the same. That's the login, the logout, the information panel, which gives you an overview of the server and your client, memory usage, for instance, the preferences. You can adapt those to your needs. You can also define servers, and then we have the window manager, and I'll come to that a bit later. To the left we have the tree view, which will allow us to open up these main entries to detailed functions. We can also do that from up here with the drop down menu, and then we can work in a similar way as perhaps we would in the Windows environment. However, we're going to use the tree view. The session entry is basically a replica of what we have here. The user displays the profile of the person who's just logged in, and that is for him to change his password, but any other updates are not permitted for security reasons. The job of the administrator would be to define the company, the users, the security, setting up the roles, assigning them to users, allowing import of data and transactions from other feeder systems, using the scheduling system in as-lingo by defining schedules to set up tasks that enable us to automate some processes in as-lingo. All of these are functions that will be addressed again in detail in their own video clips. Now, the next topic I would like to browse through with you is the master data. And here we have, for instance, our customers, our suppliers, all the information that we need to have a transparent and efficient customer relations and supplier relations management. And here we have the as-lingo payment procedures that allow you to automate your outgoing payments, your direct debits. And next, the nationalization is an important issue that primarily involves 3 topics. That's language, currency, and tax data. Tax data can be defined appropriate to any tax laws, to any country worldwide. You can work with any number of foreign currencies and even with 2 local currencies. And we also define our products, projects, and cost centers here in the master data area. And again, the topics discussed under master data will be available in short, detailed video clips. Now I'm going to close this and open Financial, Common, and Export. Common because here we have 2 functions which are used very frequently. One is job maintenance, where we can view and control the jobs that you started or that had been started by the scheduler, and the document manager, where we find all the output of reports, listings, files that have been created by jobs that you've either started manually or that have been automatically run. Under the heading of export, should be called export/import, we have two important functions. One is an OSM export. OSM stands for other software manufacturers and could be PeopleSoft, SAP, Hyperion, and many others. The import, host import converter, is a conversion functionality in as-lingo with which we can convert virtually all possible data formats that need to be imported to as-lingo. For instance, when you're migrating to as-lingo from another system. And finally, we look at the group financial, where we find most of those functions that will be used on a daily basis. Posting, this is an area where all of the booking and posting input happens. This could be in a batch mode for large volumes of input. It could be an online transaction-based task of entering each document individually. We also create the debit credit notes or maintain our standing orders. In the area proposal, we have debitor proposal, which would be a direct debit functionality, creditor proposal for our outgoing payments, and these proposals can be maintained online and checked for correct payments or those you might want to postpone to another date. And when the payment proposal is run, a payment file is produced in the format of SEPA, the Standard European Payment Area, or SWIFT file, which can be transferred automatically or manually to your bank. In the display area, you can look at view your accounts, balances, and detailed view. The account maintenance, such as allocating open items, is a function in here. You can check on your cost centers, look at and search for and find your vouchers, and the debit credit notes, for instance. Let's take a look at one of those. We have a bunch of debit credit notes here, and we'll just open one up, and this is what your billing would look like in as-lingo. Obviously, the layout would be your layout, the letterhead would be your letterhead, and the logo would be your logo. And now we'll continue with the area of reporting, where you have your journals that you can produce on a daily, weekly, monthly basis, however you prefer. The period end closures, month end, year end, your balance sheet, account statements, internal account statements and external account statements, stunning letters to make sure that you have your receivables in time for your budget planning. Then there are tax verification reports, summarized reports for the European Union, age structures, and these are also part of the standard reporting. And finally, we come to the individual reporting, and these are reports as you have defined them yourself. There is no need to make any sacrifices on the requirements of your reporting, and the limit is your imagination.